everyone. Thank you for your patience. This is the third time I'm trying to go live, so I've just come straight directly into Facebook because it seems that I cannot go live to Facebook and to LinkedIn at the same time using Zoom, even though I did do it last week, sort of. So thanks for your patience as I've come on and off a couple of times. If you are here and you are watching, let me know in the comments. If you're watching this on replay, then let me know if you have any questions, as always. So today we're looking into how do we get from our course plan and how do we start to design our course. So we're starting to move into the creation phase, and before I get into that, before we jump into creating content, I just want to look at that transition. How do we make that transition when we feel that we are really ready to be able to jump into course creation? So what we will be looking at, what we will be going over today is 3 different topics. The first one is questions. I just want to go over some questions that have come through over the past couple of days and just recap on those. Then I want to look at the final tab of my content template and just demonstrate what we do from here. And finally, I wanted to then go into some video setup and some tips. So again, if you have any questions, do let me know. Again, if you are watching this in replay, or if this is your first session that you're coming to for the behind the scenes, this is the behind the scenes of course creation. And what we are doing here is I'm demonstrating what I'm doing behind the scenes, as the name suggests. So some questions that I wanted to cover. The first one that I actually got 2 that were quite similar, but I want to read them both out loud because we ask questions in different ways and we don't really realize, sometimes I find that someone's asking the same question as me, but I don't really realize it because they're asking it in a different way. So one question that I received was, how do we apply the avatar to course creation? In course creation, an important point is understanding who your learners are. And as you start to understand your learners, you start to build a learner persona, otherwise known as an avatar. So that question came through. Also, another question that came through was, how do we integrate what I know about our target audience and integrate that into my course? Right? So I want to answer those 2 questions because what we're looking at, those 2 questions are asking, how do I understand with all the knowledge that I have of my current students, how do I then convert that into my course? How do I ensure that that's in my course? So one of the ways I wanted to display that today was by what I have here, literally pieces of scrap paper. Everything, they're not scrap paper, it's much more important than that, but leaflets that I have in my diary that move with me each week that I go through. I move these in from week to week. Now what I have here is categories of questions that people are asking about course creation. So I have, in addition to this, I also have my CRM, where in my CRM I can run reports on what struggles people are having, what I've collected through my market research. I also have an Airtable. So the reason why I have the 2 is that not everyone exists in my CRM, and I don't want to go into putting everyone in my CRM, but I do also have an Airtable that just goes through things that I'm hearing, things that I'm seeing, right, whether that be in groups, whether it be comments people are making, whether it be responses to emails, whatever it may be. All of this, I'm capturing all of that information. Now what I have here are all of the frequently asked questions. So I've grouped them. There's actually 19. There's 19 different ones that are all grouped together that give me an understanding of what my current clients, what they currently ask me, what I do here through these sessions, for example. And this tells me what my students are currently struggling with, or that they need some advice on, they need some guidance on. Then what I do is I've got these in 3 different groups. So these are my 3 different groups, which you've heard me say so much: design, create, and launch. And so then I categorize them into one of those three groups. And that just helps me to better group all of the questions I'm getting so that I can better reply to them at the right times and answer them in multiple ways as well. So what this helps me with, the reason for this, is that I can align this specific to the course I'm building because the bundles of my course are called Design, Create, and Launch, your online course. So what I'm doing at this stage is I'm making sure that I'm going through everything that I know so far about the struggles that my possible students are going through. And I make sure that I cover off all of those questions when seen fit, if it applies to this course, and I make sure that I demonstrate those in the course. So there's a lot more that we can discuss about that. One of another important points is the assumptions that you have about your current students. And when I say assumptions, it's not saying you're assuming this, which I know doesn't make quite sense right now, but just give me a second. So if you were to create a course that is about a software product, for example, you would say the assumption is that all of my learners have already created an account. And now we're teaching them how to do the basic navigation. And that's based off your avatar that you've created. You can say, okay, my avatar is a beginner. I know that they're a beginner that's really new to this platform, and I know that they already have an account. So then when you transfer to creating your course, you know that you're going to start from basic navigation rather than starting from how do you create an account. So it might be the same with videos, for example. I know that there's a lot of people that I work with who are very comfortable with taking videos. They're very comfortable with working online. They're very comfortable with setting up their camera, their lights, what I've got set up around me, their microphone. What they're not quite experienced with and they need a little bit of support is the technology that they can use. So things such as Loom, what kind of editing tools they can use, how to even edit. So knowing that and knowing the types of questions that are coming through can help you understand where someone is. So for example, sorry, I'm hoping you cannot hear those motorbikes. I'm going to read a question that I have here. Okay. Number 12 is second guessing courses are never launching. So for me, hi Casper, for me, that is letting me know that this person has attempted to create courses, right? And it's at that course creation phase that they're having difficult launching. So I know that I'm not going to talk about why online courses are effective. I'm not going to talk about how you can have online courses in your business because the assumption here is that this particular learner already has all of that knowledge. So then it helps me to then be able to use that avatar, to be able to use that learner persona. I can then easily say, okay, well, the course is going to start at level B, for example. I hope that's answered the question. There is so much more that I can talk about that on how we can integrate our the knowledge that we know of our students, how we can integrate that into our course. And that is one of the things that I will be going over in my course that I'm releasing in September to help you design, create, and launch an online course is how you can build that learner persona and then how you can map it across. The second question that I did have, you're welcome. Thank you for that feedback. I'm glad that that was useful. The second question that did come up was what tasks do I outsource? So for myself, as a course creator, at the moment, I don't outsource any tasks in regards to course creation, but I did want to talk about what tasks you can outsource in regards to what tasks are outsourced to me as a course creator, if that makes sense. So the clients that I do work with, if you're unsure, I work with clients through the courses that I create. I work with clients one-on-one to help them build their platform in a consultancy level. And then I also help clients one-on-one where I work with you and them to be able to build their course. So To answer this question in regards to what tasks can be outsourced, I'm going to answer that by saying what tasks I do. So that is video editing. I also build rough drafts of course outlines. So the course outline that I've created that I want to show you shortly, that I'm hoping I can share my screen, this course outline that I've created, I do this for clients as well, where I either work with you to build it yourself, or I build a basic one for you once I've got some knowledge of your course, and then you can build on top of that. So these are some of the tasks to outsource. Usually it is video editing. Usually it is the marketing side, the launching side. So that is landing pages, marketing, email, marketing templates. The outsourcing as well, that's a huge one, is setting everything up in a learning management system. So you might have all of the content ready, all the videos ready, all of the activities ready, and then you want someone to design that for you in a learning management system, where they're designing the website of that learning management system, the landing pages, they're designing the look, the feel, they're designing the learning journey, all of that. So I hope that does answer that question. And I've got lots of questions here that I want to cover, but not all are appropriate for today. So the final one that I wanted to cover is what goes into my course and what stays out. And we covered this a bit last week when we looked at our course outline template. So this is where I am hoping that I can share my screen, but I'm not sure if that's going to be possible. I think I can only share my screen at the beginning and not change it later on. Wait, I can. No, I cannot. Hmm. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to share my screen, which is disappointing. I can go back to the setup, but I cannot change what you see. Unless, if anyone knows how I can change my setup, please let me know. Um, hmm. Okay. Well, that's going to be disappointing that I cannot share my screen. What I can do is I can log out, I can stop this video, and then I can come back in for part 2. That's probably the best idea, is to stop this and then come back in as part 2, because you cannot share your screen once you are already live, which is why I wanted to do it from Zoom. Okay, stay there. I'm going to stop this video and then I'm going to come back in sharing my screen. Again, thank you very much for your patience.